Music Mania Podcast. Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Music Mania Podcast. I am your host, Clint Switzer, and joining me today to help me co-host this show, he is my good friend, my confidant, my partner in crime, my road concert traveling buddy, Mr. Paul Lagana. Thanks for joining us, Paul. If you behave, we may even bring you back again.
Clint, thank you very much for letting me be part of this show, I got to tell you, and I will absolutely behave myself, maybe.
For the most part, and that's always the kind of hijinks we wind up getting into when we're on the road, when we're hitting all these shows. Man, we've just seen Black Sabbath, we've just seen AC/DC, I saw Iron Maiden. This is all in the last couple weeks. This is what we do, and it's so great to be here and talking music. And I'll tell you what, we have a very special guest, because no one wants to just sit here and listen to us talk. We have a very special guest, Paul. Robert Mason, the singer from Warrant, going to be joining us momentarily to talk about some shows that Warrant's got coming up, just life on the road, replacing Janie Lane, his relationship with Janie Lane, lots more. Robert Mason's a good guy, pulls no punches, one of the best frontmen out there, underrated, I say.
Absolutely, Clint. And we happened to catch that show last year at Lake of the Ozarks with Firehouse, Warrant, and Dawkin. And I got to say, he was one of the most charismatic frontmen that I've seen in a long time.
Charismatic frontman, you said it, and also one of the best singers out there. He's really made a lot of those Warrant songs his own, the way he sings and the way he presents them. He's, like you said, charismatic frontman, great singer, great guy. Can't wait to be joined by Robert. And I tell you what, he's got a lot of friends in the music business, and I'll tell you, he just was joined by Mike Anthony and did a great version of Panama that's been making its way around the web. Mason's he's a guy that sang for Lynch Mob, his band Big Cock. He's doing the Warrant thing, just an all around talent, really. I mean, so let's go ahead and bring on our special guest. He is the singer from the band Warrant, Mr. Robert Mason. Robert, welcome to the show. You're joining us from out there in Daytona Bike Week. Life is good. How's everything going in your world, my man?
It's good to be here. This is not really my world, but it's relatively sunny Florida, and I'm getting ready to play our second show for Daytona Bike Week. We were working last night.
Oh, I've always wanted to get down there for Bike Week, and I know you guys have been playing some shows down there. What's it been like? What's the crowd been like? And what's the reception been for Warrant down there?
It is a spectacle. Take that every way you want to.
My mind is racing already.
Yeah, well, and so's mine. It's not just the coffee. This year we're playing a place called the Iron Horse Saloon. It's one of the standby, been there forever places. It's actually in Ormond Beach near Daytona. We played all sorts of venues. We were Broken Spoke last year. A buddy of mine, Jay Allen, is the guy who's the face behind the Broken Spoke. I live in Arizona, and I've got pretty plugged in with the motorcycle community. I have been for many years. If you remember Lynch Mob, we all rode around, terrorized Cave Creek, Arizona for years, in the Phoenix area, and a lot of those custom bike builders that live in the area because it's so beautiful where I live out in the desert, they come out here. So I'm actually going to get up right after this, pound down another cup of coffee, and then go visit all my friends that are all transplanted here for the week as well.
Oh, that's awesome. Definitely looking forward to some of the Warrant shows coming up. You guys have a handful of shows coming up this summer, and hope to see some more, but you'll be here in the area. We are in Missouri, and you guys will be in Hays, Kansas coming up this summer. Definitely looking forward to that. Appearing with Brett Michaels, too, at a show in Nebraska, I believe. And you've got Rock the Arena in Toledo, Ohio, with a bunch of other bands. So Warrant, I mean, you guys are always touring. You're always out there. I mean, what the schedule? You guys keep it going, man. And that's it's a testament to you guys and your abilities to keep touring, and we love it, man. So big shows coming up. You guys got to be excited for that.
Well, we have the greatest job in the world. I mean, that's honestly what I think. For me, anyway. I know it's not for everybody. The traveling thing can get rough, but yeah, I really like it. But we've changed. Obviously, I'm sure you've talked to other artists and you understand this, that the touring mode for us has largely changed because we can stay home in our beds a couple of nights a week, get on airplanes, and get out to where we want to get. And between air travel and getting shuttled around by promoters or whoever, we've we've got transportation in a lot of places in the country this year and last year with like one of those, like a sprinter. Well, we'll fly around, and if it's really close to the next city, we'll do a drive.
Sure.
And we travel really lightly, and as far as gear goes, I'll just check one road case. It's got everything I need in it, as do most of the other guys, and a lot of the stuff is included in a kind of a backline package. We get what we want per contract. We roll in, and it's really easy. Make a lot of noise, leave a little scar on whatever town we're playing in, and then we split. And I'm home in my own bed for a couple of weeks, a couple of days.
That's life right there.
Yeah, and a lot of air miles, man.
Oh, absolutely. Piling them up since 1984.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You know what? I grew up loving frontmen and singers who really grabbed you by the throat, like metaphorically, and made you pay attention to them. Standing in one place and being artsy or staring at my shoes and telling you how depressing things are, being some sort of like brooding artist, just isn't in me. I grew up loving guys like Roger Daltrey and Steve Marriott and Paul Rogers and David Lee Roth and Freddie Mercury and Ian Gillan and Robert Plant, but even from Otis Redding and Sam Cooke and people like Tom Jones, for can I say for fuck's sake? I mean, come
absolutely.
On. I remember being a little kid, and my parents had music all the time on, records always playing or the TV always on. And there was one of those variety shows, and I saw Otis Redding one week or weekend, and then I saw Tom Jones like the next week, and it might have been like the old Andy Williams show. I mean, I was little. I could have been like 3 or 4 years old. And for the record, I remember seeing the Jackson 5 for the first time. My dad sat me down and said, "Oh, you're going to watch this." And all that kind of stuff. Remember when there were those old variety shows in the 60s and late 60s and early 70s? And I saw Tom Jones, and you see chicks just going bad shit crazy for this guy. Throwing underwear to this guy. He's like Elvis, only growlier and cooler. And I looked at that and I remember this like a pivotal moment, and I'm not kidding. 3 or 4 where I just said, "Oh, I'm doing that."
Wow. We all said the same thing.
Clearly I didn't take that path. I didn't take that exact path. But there were singers that just, then the rock thing took over for me. Now, I'm the oldest. I have younger siblings, so I didn't have any older brothers and sisters to, steal their record collections, so I had to rely on what I heard on the radio, and thankfully my parents were really cool and listened to tons of music, but I had a really good education musically. Before I could read, I was, banging on the piano and singing everything I heard, and like some of my earliest memories are singing 3-part harmony with my mom and dad on long car rides. I sang in church when I was a kid just because I wanted to sing as loud as I wanted, and nobody could tell me not to. It wasn't necessarily church. It was just the fact that I was like the 3-year-old kid yelling at my dad in church saying, "Why is the pastor's wife singing flat?"
Yeah, Rock of Ages just doesn't come out as well as a tenor part.
But the thing is, I honestly believe that people are there to be entertained. The audience listens with their eyes as well as their ears, and it's part of what I do. I don't know, and forever, I'm frustrated that I'm a hack on guitar and piano and a couple of other instruments. I know that I was trained to sing, and I have a certain talent for that and cultivated it. So that's one of those things that there's no false modesty. I'm pretty good at that. I want to, I always work to be as good as I can. But that's the thing. I mean, if I'm not running around screaming, getting people's attention, I feel like I'm not really doing my job. Was that a long-winded way of answering your question?
No, it's perfect. It totally makes sense. I mean, I think that's what connects people to rock music in general. Is that it's kind of like when you grow up listening to Kiss, it was just this otherworldly experience. You want that, you want to release. You don't want to feel like you could go walk out of your back porch and see this band playing, and it's just, you know what I mean? Like, so rock music's always been bigger than life, and that's what you want to see. That's what you want from it. That's what I want from it anyway. So
yeah, I figure if I'm not excited up there, why should you be? Like, you know, sometimes I'm just like, man, I'm just a singer in a rock band, you know?
It's like, yeah, but we all grow up thinking we can sound like Robert Plant, but the difference is some of you actually can. We sit here and we interview you, so there's a talent disparity that happens at some point, and you got to realize, hey, I'm not bad at this. Like you said, you sang in the church choir. It's like, yeah, I can hit these notes that this old lady next to me can't.
A couple of things. I remember being in school, and just because I'm everything mechanical, from like watches to motorcycles to cars to everything that you can, you know, I'm usually addicted, and I have in my whole life, to things, everything mechanical and with little parts that I can take apart and, you know, put back together and have a handful of leftover parts going, where do these go? Like, I've always been that kid, and I like speed and things that are, you know, I can go fast enough to get hurt on, I guess. But even amongst all of those things, music was always, like I said, in the background or as a side thing, and I wasn't really encouraged to become a musician professionally. I was encouraged towards academia and sports, and I was decent at both of those. I mean, I did go to college at a partial academic and partial athletic scholarship. But there was a pivotal moment, and I didn't realize it. I had a moment, some friends from high school, you know, that first high school band in an uncle's basement, a friend's uncle's basement somewhere, like one town away, and he'd go to a bar, and we would all set up down there, and we'd sneak a few Sixers down, and, you know, and practice, and just, like, make a shit ton of noise. And I remember just a few years ago, one of the guys that was in that band was talking to me. He just out of nowhere, like you're saying, he said, you know, we all knew. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like, no, I'm not being super nostalgic or anything, but we all knew. There was, and he pointed out to me one moment that I do not remember. When we were just going through whatever, and I was the keyboard player first, because I learned, I had piano and organ. And then, but the singing thing was there, and I was like, okay, who can sing this part? Well, me. Who can sing this part? Well, me. And there was little of that, and I used to get frustrated that everybody, I was still that kid inside. I was really frustrated that everybody else didn't understand and hear all these like crazy voices in their head like I did, and all the harmonies, and be able to block out, okay, you sing this part, you do this here, you play this part. And it was, you know, Journey and the Eagles and Led Zeppelin and Leonard Skinner and, you know, Deep Purple, like I said, The Who and Queen and all that stuff. And a couple of these guys were really good players, and I just got pushed towards singing because I became much more of a lead singer voice, and it was like you said, it didn't start out that way for me. I would rather play guitar, I'd rather play keyboards, whatever. And it's not about being behind an instrument hiding, it just wasn't something I thought, oh, I'm just going to go and sing. And it's weird because I've been doing this my whole life. But it finally occurred to them, and my buddy said to me, like I said just a couple of years ago, you went up front and grabbed one of the boom stands and straightened it out and put it at mouth height and grabbed it and turned around and said, now, you know, start whatever song. And we all looked at each other when you started singing and said, oh, shit. This is,
wow.
We have a lead singer now. Like, I didn't even think that that's what I was going to do.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. That's the greats, they find their way. The greats find their way. You found yours. And, you know, and we're all still young here. I'm way younger than you and Paul here. But the truth of it is, we've got bands retiring at this point. In the last 2 months, Robert, we've seen Motley Crue play their last show. AC/DC is sidelined and may never play with Brian Johnson again. Rush is retired. Black Sabbath's on their farewell tour, and I know you know Ozzy really well. This is, we're talking to Paul the other day, like, who am I going to go see in 10 years? What am I going to do with my life?
Oh, you sound like my dad when the platter stopped.
Well, that's a compliment, I hope. But, you know, I mean, that's got to go through your mind when you see a lot of your peers, you know, stepping away. And I know Warrant, you guys are, you know, very young. I'm not going to mention ages. You know, I can Wikipedia it and I can tell you, but you guys are all still young to be playing rock music, but a lot of bands are stepping away. A lot of bands from your era never made it this far as it is, and here you guys are. It's a testament to you, but it's got to be at least a little surreal to see some of these greats retiring.
Yeah, it's been a rough year losing people too. Not to be morose, but to that end, it's time marches on, and I'm not being glib when I say that, but out of respect, some of these people have had amazing careers, and we were just talking the other day, we got off the plane, we were talking about the AC/DC thing, and my old guitar tech actually works for them, from my old guitar tech from Cry of Love, that's worked for a bunch of different bands, who's Brad Whitford's guy forever, and recently came up to me and said, dude, AC/DC tour, and I was so stoked for him, and he's out there on the tour, and this is happening. And apparently it is, and I'm not sure, I haven't read all the press, but Brian's got something wrong with his ears. And it's funny, the first thing that my old tech said, I was texting back and forth, I said, dude, how's it going? He said, oh my God, they're so loud.
Yeah.
And, the thing is, if you injure yourself, or, like I said, Father Time drags you down the road, and it's like that, it's like a boxer, like there are boxers that, once they get hit too many times, they should probably not box anymore. And hopefully you've done well with your life, and I know those guys have, and so many other bands have. The Molly guys did it big in a really cool, grandiose, but classy ways, okay? We're not promising anything, but here we go, and I don't know too much about it. I know a few of those guys pretty well, because we were all on Elektra at one time.
Yeah.
Lynch Mob, we were all the rock bands on Elektra. It's just the kind of thing you hope that when your time comes for that, you can look back on it and go, okay, I had a good run. If I ever feel like I'm making a fool out of myself, you won't see my white ass anymore. I'll be on a beach somewhere.
Absolutely, and that's the way to look at it. And I think that whenever you see a band like Warrant live, what I came away with, and it was last summer was the first time I'd seen Warrant with you at the helm, and I came away with it thinking, like, what a testament to those songs, timeless songs that were written by the late Janie Lane, and the fact that it's carried on, that you guys are still performing at the level you do, and what a great fit you are for that band. And I know you knew Janie Lane, I know you guys were friends when you were in Lynch Mob and went out on tour with Warrant, and it's got to be almost surreal when you step on stage and when you look out there and they know Uncle Tom's Cabin, they know Heaven, they know, of course, Cherry Pie, which I'm sure that never gets old singing. But it's got to be just surreal for you. I mean, we've had Eric Turner on our show before. I mean, this is just a band, a hardworking band. I don't know. There's something about it. I walked away from that really with a kind of a surreal experience seeing Warrant last summer, and it's a testament to you guys.
I'm really lucky, but the harder I work, the luckier I get. You make a lot of your own opportunities happen, and there's a little bit of right place at the right time, and even with those guys, they know that. And yeah, the songs were written really well. Janie and Ashley, he had co-writers sometimes it was other band members, sometimes it was other people in other bands or songwriters. But he was a real talent, and he was a real friend. Our friendship was the reason why Lynch Mob opened for Warrant in 92, 93. So, it's funny and surreal in this way. We were playing a gig in Atlanta last year, November of last year. Joey Allen and I walk over to stage right, on the stage, get on the deck, and Lynch Mob is on stage. Now that's George and Jimmy DeAnda, and I think Sean McNabb.
Oni Logan.
And Oni. And we're all friends, like all of us. There's a huge fraternal, incestuous, or orientation at times, incestuous, it seems like. And we're all buds, so we get to play on those boats. Tom Kiefer was there, the Night Ranger guys were there, so we're all, drinking buddies, basically. And we're in that, I'm blessed and honored to be in that little, fucked up fraternity of guys that are, I see the Night Ranger guys and instantly Gillis is like, come on, let's feel it, come on, let's go. I'm like, oh my God, not again, Gilmo, you fucker, I'm not going to be buzzed for the gig, I swear to God, I got to keep it together. But Joey and I walk over on stage, right, and I see Lynch, and I'm standing behind his back line, and I look at Joey, and I'm like, hey, dude, check this out. I used to sing some of these songs, and then go get a steak and get a shower, and then go on stage, and I used to stand right here, and then watch you sing the songs that we sing now. How weird is life?
It is. It is so, and it's great when you hear stories like yours coming full circle. I love the stories of, it's a story of growing up a fan, growing up singing these songs. Here you are. I love it. I tell you what, big fan of this version of Warrant, Robert. I think that the work you've done in Lynch Mob, Big Cock, my favorite band name ever, by the way.
It's not. You know what? Strangely enough, it's not my mom's favorite band name ever.
I wondered about that. I always wondered how that went. With some of your.
Yeah, she was least a fan of that band's name. That was just fun. Dave Hensley and I had fun making those records, kind of DIY, in each other's houses, and taking them, some good place to mix and master. But they were fun, And it's funny, people didn't get it. It was like, well, I don't give a fuck about getting played on the radio. It's not about that. We're just making fun of everything. It's like no double entendre for that band. It was single entendre.
A little tongue in cheek. Well, that's what the genre's all about.
Yeah, and if you didn't get the joke, look, musically we took it very seriously, but lyrically, come on, we would laugh our asses off writing those songs together, like sitting in a room. Dave would send me a text or email me with all the lyrics to a song, and I would just reply like, "This is just too brilliant not to do." We have to do this.
Well, I'll tell you what, Robert. We got our final 3 drum roll for you. 3 quick questions. Give us your first thought that comes to mind, and we'll let.
Yes, no, and it was all her idea.
Well, okay, that doesn't line up with my third question at all. That's going to be weird. That's going to be weird.
Just go ahead.
First question. You grew up in New York. Favorite New York sports team that you still follow today?
Wow. All right. Here's very quick. My grandfather and my dad took me to both Shea and Yankee Stadium, so
wow.
I'm split. I'm one of those kids that was split, man. I know back there because I'm like, dude, Eddie Trump will kill me when I say this, but both Yankees and Mets, I don't know why.
You know what? You don't live there anymore, so you're safe from the harm of those subway New Yorkers that were ever to come out.
Nobody's gonna shiv me because I'm a Mets fan. Is that what?
Yeah. I mean, that's the lovable side, of course. So, okay. Next question. One band, if you could perform one show with, who would it be?
Wow. Can't answer that. There are too many. I would never be able to make up my mind.
Well, the answer might need to be AC/DC because it might actually need to happen.
It's really funny. Somebody sent me a message the other day to that end, and it was, like, come on. If they're gonna get somebody, they're gonna get somebody else. I don't sing like that. I mean, I can kind of sing like that, but I might only be able to do one gig if I sang like that.
Final question: what's your greatest memory from a festival you played? I know Warrant's done M3, Rocklahoma. What's your favorite festival that you've ever been a part of, whether with Warrant or even Lynch Mob or any other situation?
Man, there are too many, and I told a great one about Florida, a festival years ago when I was in Lynch Mob, but I have to say, summer of '96, August of '96 at Donington, it was my last Ozzy show.
Wow.
And I walked out on the deck, and it was just a sea of heads and smoke, and it was just fucking awesome. Then later on, right after us, Kiss played, and I got shut out. I got shut out of going, like, our laminates were no good to go walk up on stage to see Kiss.
What?
Right after, and I'm on my hip. I have an Ozzy laminate and a bus key on my hip, and I'm like, I can't go on stage. So I got shut down by a tech. So I'm walking back and I see Sharon, and everybody knows it's my last show, and I'd already, made my peace with it, said bye to Oz for the moment, just all weepy-eyed after the show and everything, because he was all, I just played the show for Mother England, and he was all emotional. I see Sharon, and I'm with my chick, and I'm like walking up to the stage. I get shut down to go see Kiss. Now, that Kiss was my first show, Madison Square Garden. It was her first show long ago. It's like first rock show. So And then remember, this is summer '96. I'm walking back all despondent, thinking, all right, I got shut down. I was going to take her up on stage. I see Sharon, and Sharon says, what are you doing? And I told her the story. She said, not on my watch here, Sharon Osbourne. She grabs Doc McGee. I swear this, hand to Starbucks, I swear to God. And she grabs Doc and says, get over here. And fucking Doc McGee and Sharon Osbourne walked us up onto the stage, stood up on Ace's side in Monitor World and watched Kiss. And then during Ace's guitar solo, Paul comes over and fixes his lipstick in a little makeup mirror on the side of a road case and blows my chick a kiss and then winks at me and walks back on stage. That was my last moment at Donington in '96.
That is that. Yeah, that was Kiss's reunion tour and the first time back in Mecca. That's amazing. Wow. And Sharon, we know Sharon is a little bit of, she'll take charge. I hear anyway. She's not shy.
Well, she's the mother hen. She always took care of us, and she was like that. She was like everybody's mom and protector. If she thought you were being wrong, she was like, oh no.
Well, I tell you what, Robert, we've already kept you too long. I promised you 15 to 20. We've gone over, and I apologize vehemently for that. We just got along too well, man. We'll have to catch up. We'll have to catch up with you in Hayes, Kansas this summer, my man. We'll have to come say hi at the Warrant show in Hayes. We really look forward to doing that. We'll be watching. Best luck with the show tonight and the rest of the tour, man. We're definitely going to be watching. We can't thank you enough. What a great conversation, man.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Hey, it was morning. I'm going to go hit Daytona and hang out with all the bike fools and have. I'm a fellow bike fool too. I'm not making fun of them. But it was great talking to you guys. Like I said, I blame the coffee.
I blame the other liquid substance. But you know what? That's what we're all here for, Robert. Have a great show tonight, and we will definitely catch up soon, my man.
Sounds good to see you then.
Thank you, Robert.